Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to a brand new video. I'm Sushi Mushi, and today I'm back with the 4th episode of critiquing your guys' GFX. In this series, I allow you guys to submit your very own GFX that you made into my Discord server, and I'm going to be critiquing it on my channel. You guys seem to love this series, and since you guys like it, I'm going to continue to make more and more episodes on it. By the way, make sure you're in my Discord server not only to submit GFX, but also because there's a super big announcement coming up very soon, and I know some of you guys will really like it, so stay tuned. Now without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, the very first GFX is this one, and it kind of looks the same as the other ones I gave you. I did give critique on that, but I'll give it again. So the first thing I noticed with this GFX is the lighting. The lighting doesn't have much going on, it's pretty boring and not popping anything out. Next up is the text. I really dislike this font because it looks so messy, especially when you add more effects to it, like a stroke. It makes it look very, messed up, but it makes it look more messy for some reason. And once again, the pose could be better. It's kind of stiff and you could make it improve more. With the background, I have no idea what's really going on. It looks like you put random stuff, but I can't really tell. Next up is this one, and well, it's too good for me to critique. I'm just some random Roblox GFX critiquer, so yeah, you're too good for me to critique. Next up is this one, and right away I noticed the render is floating, so the most important thing you need to do with your renders when you're doing GFX is to make sure you don't show the whole entire render. You want to make it bigger and move it down so you don't see all of the legs. You want to show some of the legs but not all of it. I love the background, it looks nice, but another thing I noticed is the lighting on the render. The render's lighting is pretty bright and it could be much more better. Alright, so next up is this, and right away I noticed the render looks pretty stiff. The arms don't have much going on, it's kind of like bending a very little amount. If you want to make it bend more, you could. Next up is the text. I noticed right away that the text is pretty small, and that's because it's such a big word, which I really hate when it comes to doing GFX. You could change the font, because some fonts let you write bigger words in a smaller way to make it bigger, if that makes any sense. And you could also place it much better. Also, it seems a little low quality on the text. The corner overlays don't really match the background. The background has more of a lighter and aqua color, but this one has a darker blue. Also, I suggest adding more effects and working more on lighting, because this lighting is kind of dark and not really too good. Also, by the way guys, I'm gonna do 15 GFX in this video. Next up is this one, and right away I can tell that it's pretty nice. The render has good lighting and the text looks cool. The render could be less stiff though because the pose kind of looks stiff, and you could work on these overlays a bit more because it's curved a little weird. Maybe that's the style you're going for, and if it is, then keep it. And another thing I'd do is move these lines, get rid of those because it's covering most of the face. And these liquefied lines. Now I can already tell the pose looks great, but the lighting on it looks a little too pinkish reddish, and the head is looking a whole other direction, so maybe move the head a bit more towards the camera. After that is the brushes. The brushes look like there's way too much going on. I like the color scheme, it looks cool, it's something I haven't seen before. However, I do suggest making it not cover so much of the render, because you can't really tell what the render looks like. Your text has a ton of potential. If you change the font and maybe added more effects and mess with the colors, it could look a lot more better. Next up is this one, and it says Guess the Song. I really like the brown color scheme. I haven't seen it much in GFX and I wish more people did it. So I can tell you use the Photoshop default leaf brush, and I suggest changing it to something else because you can actually download a ton of brushes from the internet and they are much better than that leaf one. Your text looks good. If you practice more, you'll definitely improve it even more. After that is the background. All I can see is this brown color and then different shades right over here, but there's not really much going on other than these overlays, so in the actual background I suggest adding more detail. Finally, the render. The render has basic lighting and I suggest working on it more. Next up is this one by Julia, and I really love it. It looks awesome. I love the lighting. It makes it look really cool and vibrant and happy. The background has a ton of detail and I love it so much. The text looks great. I really don't know what to critique because I love it a lot. All I can really think about is making the render look less bright, but even if you didn't, it looks great still. Next up is this one, and I can tell you're using the woman body, and with the woman body, you're kind of limited with the posing. You really aren't, but it's hard to be creative with it because of how weird it is to pose on the arms and stuff. I would work on posing it more. Now you could add more effects to the text to make it look more detailed because it looks like you only have a gradient and a stroke on it, on both, so I'd work more on that too. The background looks good, but it looks like you put random overlays on it, so I'd suggest to put more detail into it and make it match out more. Next up is this one by Julia. Once again, I love the render and I love the lighting on it. The text, I like how you're going for the basic style. Not many people do it nowadays, and I kind of like this a lot. But with the background, you could definitely work on other stuff in it because it looks like you're putting random stuff on it. Now on our 11th GFX is this one. This one looks great. I love how realistic it looks. I like how you put the grass, and I like the pose. I like the lighting on it. It all looks really good. Although I don't understand what you're really going for, it looks cool. Like, the pose doesn't really match the theme of what you're going for, but then again, I have no idea what you were going for in the start. But even though you did a kind of random pose, it still looks good. This one, the render seems kind of low quality and you can see way too much of it. You should make it bigger and mess with the posing more. Also, the lighting is kind of weird. Now the text also kind of seems low quality and the overlay on it looks weird. And there's like gray on the sides of it. Plus, the inner glow or the inner shadow, the weight on it is too intense. Could go for more detail on the GFX because it looks kind of plain. I like the vibe you're going for. I love the red and black color scheme. However, the text could have more detail in it to make it pop out more. It would look so much cooler if you added more different effects. I love the brushes on it though, and I like how the render looks. The lighting looks like a good feature, but if it was more bright, maybe it'd look better. Alright, so I was actually in the middle of editing this video and I realized I made a huge mistake. So I thought this person was the 14th, even though this was the 11th. I thought this was the 14th one and this was the 15th for some reason. And I don't know why, but I did. And I did this one and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna skip this to give other people a chance. And then I skipped over to this person right over here because they already went. And then I realized there were still 3 other GFX I had to critique. So I'm gonna go ahead and critique those GFX right now. On this one, it looks like you're spamming brushes on random places. The text kind of seems weird. I don't really know what's weird about it, but it just seems weird to me. I don't know what though. The stroke on the render should be removed and replaced with something better, like an outer glow or like a nice drop shadow. Strokes look weird on renders. The lighting isn't too bad. I like how it looks, make it a bit brighter though. And you can also kind of see a random background behind all the brushes, which is kind of weird. Now, like I already said, this will be later in the video. Next up is this one by Ivy. I like the theme you were going for. I like the pose on the render, except I'd make the lighting a little bit more brighter. It looks like you're spamming random overlays, but it doesn't even look bad. Usually it looks weird, but I kind of like how it looks on this. Of course, other people might disagree, but that's my opinion. Also, I like how the text looks. It looks unique and cool. I love the lighting on the render. It looks great. However, the text could have more detail. I like how the background looks. I like how you're liquefying. It looks cool. All I can really think about is this overlay being, modified a bit. Because here it looks a little bumpy and messy. Now that is going to wrap up today's video. If you guys enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below more video ideas. Remember to follow me on Twitter and join my Discord server as well if you guys want to continuously be updated on my channel status. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.